All right, everybody, and thanks for joining with us. Joining us, not with us. We're already here.
A good job by J.J. McCarthy. The handoff. Alec Menace is going to throw a pick. They give it to Corum. Up back. Corum. Touchdown, Wolverines. Roman Wilson does it again. Hill finds the daylight. He's got some speed at the blocker. Outside, turns the corner. Blake Corum down the sideline. Looking over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Wolverines. McCarthy extends the play now using legs. McCarthy a first down.
Good evening, everybody. Mac, how you doing over there?
I'm good. Was that a clapping sound effect you've got?
That is a clapping sound effect. The sound effects are working.
Hey,
awesome.
all
Listen,
right.
still going. Welcome, everybody, to Week 8 of college football. And before we can actually get into Week 8, we are going to go over some of the craziness of Week 7. That was a wild Saturday. We're also going to take a look at possibly our sort of coaching carousel theories and all of that. And we're going to try to get that going. I don't know why I keep doing this. It's just kind of fun to go, ooh, jazz hands. There we go. If you could move around coaches, where would you put him? Plus, the Big Ten Brady Bunch is back. We've got Justin, we've got Peter, we've got Rob, we've got Garrison. They're all here. And Mac, obviously. Mac's always here.
Wow. Wow.
All right here on the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show. Expert trash talk and unrivaled analysis. I'm your host, Cliff. With me, as always, is Mac. Mac, how's it going?
Do you care now? All of a sudden? You just all of a sudden care.
Oh, I do care. And it's not working again. There we go.
There it is. I like how I waited for you to make a joke at my expense. That's how much I care about the entertainment value of this show.
I appreciate that. I do.
No, you don't.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's
talk
bring on the
football.
panel.
We waited to get people online now. We finally got some people in the chat. They're waiting for us to do something interesting. Do something interesting. All right, never mind. I'm going to bring on our guests. And we can start talking some football because we just want to get into this right away because it's Week 8. Football is winding down.
No, it's not. It's just getting started. Shut up. Why do you say dumb things?
Hey, isn't it? We just got started. Okay, let's bring on Justin. Justin, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, fellas. How y'all?
Doing all right?
Not bad. Ohio State lost, so I'm happy.
I know. I was here watching with you, buddy.
You were?
That's true. You
They're
were.
all about it.
That was
yeah.
fun.
It was a blast. No, that was a cool little watch party y'all had for sure. That was fun.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was pretty cool. All right, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Nebraska Football at the Voice of College Football. You can find me on the Big Ten Show, and you can find me on X at _H Town Husker. I think my account is banned for another 6 hours and 43 minutes. So you can find my post there in about 7 hours.
What did you do?
Listen, things happen.
All right.
I was just talking to that. I was talking about that video. You saw that video of that guy punching the random Ravens fan punching the random Commanders.
Yeah. I just saw that.
Oh no, I missed that one.
So
yeah.
All I did was say, I wish you would do that to me because I'd punch his teeth in, and they got me for violating their policy. But I'm like, dude, have you seen what people say on here?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
not a lot.
The rules are not applied correctly, or
Twitter
no,
don't like me.
consistently. Yeah,
I've already had a account got banned. So,
all right. Our next guest is Garrison. We're gonna bring on Garrison. Garrison, how you doing over there, buddy?
Good. That's funny, man, because I've had my account blocked or banned too on Twitter before for like a day, 24 hours. I didn't think what I said was that horrible, but I mean,
me neither. I felt like it was deserved. The guy deserved to be punched in the face. I mean, to be honest.
I mean, he did.
I mean,
yeah,
dude,
for sure.
I think it was like some guy was saying something like he was actually saying something horrible to me. I said, go dig a hole. And I guess they kind of got the implication, but I don't know.
I reported a guy, full report, like 7 screenshots of him saying the most racist stuff you could possibly say. Sent it to Twitter. His account's still up.
Oh, man.
Account's still up.
But I'll hurry up here, Cliff. You can find me at Buckeye _Gaddy. That's Daddy with a G. Find Bryce.
Big Daddy Gaddy.
Big Daddy Gaddy. you can find my guy Bryce, who's my co-host on Scarlet and Blue Show at Bryce R. Sack. You can find us at Scarlet Blue Show on anything on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, and yeah.
Excellent. All right. Let us bring on our next guest. Let's go with Rob. Rob, how you doing over there, buddy?
Pretty good, man. You know, it was a disappointing weekend for the Buckeyes. You know, that look on Ryan Day's face, you know, apparently, you know, he looked into the future, saw 15 million different scenarios and how they're gonna win the national championship. And apparently that one scenario where they blew at the last moment, it was the only way. So yeah, but other than that, yeah.
Wow. I'm honestly impressed. That was very well done. Great pulling in that reference and trying to use that to feel better about Ryan Day once again blowing a game against a top 5 opponent. I'm proud of you. That was awesome. Nice job, dude. I like that one.
Thanks. But social media, so you can find Peter and I on Buckeyes Battle Cry, our YouTube channel. And you could find me on TikTok at BuckeyeRob13. So
excellent.
But
all right.
One thing I will say about Ryan Day, he's getting gutsier with his calls. He went for 3 times 4th and short, something he never did throughout almost his whole entire coaching career. So
put him on the table.
There you go. All right, let's bring out Peter, the aforementioned Peter. Peter, how are you, buddy?
Don't lay ready for what I got to say. I'm coming for all the smoke and to get laughed at as well. All my Michigan fan friends came to mind as soon as the game ended, and they all texted me before the game ended. Well, no, as the game ended.
Yeah.
So anyway, crazy times.
Crazy times. Crazy. I am not sure why our names aren't showing up there, but they will eventually.
But yeah,
what were you gonna say, Rob?
I was Barstool Ohio State guy, Big Av. I was watching his reaction to because he was watching in that sports bar with the big screen, Dallas, Texas, and just his reaction, just his hands over his head, standing up, taking off his head and sitting down. That was literally
I saw that. That
was literally my reaction at the end of the game. And I was young, obscene D's, and my wife was like, pick a room. You either go in that room or that room, but get away from me.
Oh, jeez.
Thought we were gonna get a noise complaint here.
I love it.
That's a night on the couch right there. Sounds like Rob. You didn't tell me that, bro. I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
And then
my
she's
wife
like,
yells at me, and it makes it worse.
yeah.
Oh no. I scare the cats. I jump
She was
off
like,
the
I
couch
hope
and the
we
cats go running.
You know what? That's so interesting because I would say Rob is more of an introvert and I'm more of an extrovert. And my reaction was silence. Like I was boiling inside. But it was like I was about to combust, actually.
Yeah.
But I kept it in.
It's like there's so much you want to say, but like you're like, if I say what I want to say, I'm a really bad person because I'm going to be going tirade on everybody. That's how I get when I'm that mad. I'm calling out everybody.
Yeah. Well, Peter, you know, if I said some of the things out in public when we watch games, you wouldn't want to be me. So.
Dang.
Man, I was like, I don't know, like whenever Michigan's in a game like that, if Michigan loses, like the last time that happened, I don't know. I guess the only time I can think of is like Texas. Obviously, that wasn't close, but like Michigan's obviously getting blown out, and I'm just sitting there like, huh?
No,
all right.
It ruins my week. It literally ruins my week.
Oh no!
I said to myself in my own thoughts, I said, "F it, I'm going to bed, dog. I'm gonna try and get some sleep somehow."
Yeah.
He says as he downs a whole bunch of NyQuil and Benadryl.
I was like, "Yo, just don't tweet, don't freaking Facebook,
yeah, don't go on Twitter.
Freaking go to bed, Peter."
Don't go on Twitter. They're locking people up right now.
Yeah.
Banning people.
Yeah, Justin's in Twitter jail right now.
Yeah, bro.
Oh. All right, guys, before we get into next week, let's talk about last Saturday. Last weekend, I think, was insane. I think we had some crazy things going on. We had Northwestern beating Maryland. You got Purdue putting up 49 points on Illinois. You've got Penn State nearly losing to USC. And I'm curious, and I want to know from the people in the chat too, what you thought was the craziest game this weekend and why. Just go ahead. Whoever's got something to say first. What was the craziest unexpected game this weekend?
Purdue,
Michigan versus the bye week. That was a nail biter. Honestly, I didn't know who was going to come out on top there. I kind of figured it would be the bye week, but I'm actually feeling good about Michigan coming out of this week. So I thought it was a great game. Thought everybody played very well. I was just hoping everybody would have fun, and I think we did because Michigan didn't play. So
there we go.
It wasn't me.
Purdue, Illinois.
To-do list win the day, or did she let you watch football even though Michigan didn't play? That's the question I need to know.
I got to watch football. Yeah, I got to watch football.
Dude, your wife's awesome.
I'm married way out of my league. This is just a fact of life.
The best, isn't it? It's the best.
It's so great.
My wife
gets you.
What's
Was that
that?
Justin?
My wife, like, she lets me watch football Saturday and Sunday because, like, she likes her alone time too occasionally. So it works out perfectly. Except when I get mad and yelled at.
Yeah.
And she's like, turn it off.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Yeah,
So
that's the only thing I can't do. But like my wife will make, she makes our weekly meal plans and will structure the meal plans around what football games I'm watching, so that she makes like potato skins and buffalo wings with her homemade buffalo sauce, dipping sauce that she makes, and she serves that to me for football lunch, and then brings me a beer open. Even I don't even have to open it; she just opens it for me.
Does it have a koozie?
It will now. I got one for my birthday. So yeah.
How much you paying her?
How much am I paying her, man? You know, those Ukrainian mail order bride sites are actually getting pretty expensive these days, but I'd say it's worth it. I mean, it's good food.
All right, Justin, you mentioned Purdue, Illinois.
Yeah.
Talk to me. How did Purdue put up 49 points on Illinois?
Illinois, like, it just seemed they got way too conservative in the second half. I mean, that game was a blowout, and it just seemed like Illinois kind of let off the gas, and Purdue just slowly started to come back. And by the time I think Illinois realized, like, oh crap, this is a game, Purdue was in a rhythm. And that's a rivalry game. I don't care like what anybody says, you never know what's going to happen in rivalry games. Purdue and Illinois do not like each other. And so Purdue punched as hard as they can. For Illinois, that's just one of those games where, like, you're like, I'm probably not taking much away from this game in terms of, you know, the overall team or how the season's going to go. That's one of those you just got to survive and get out of there with a win.
I wish I got to watch that game. I didn't. I missed it. I missed that one.
Wild game.
I was checking the scores, and I couldn't believe that. I was just flipping out when I saw that Purdue just even put up 49 points. That was insane.
Well, that was the thing, because I saw the score, and it was what,
28-7
20s?
It was 28-7 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And then I see 50-49. I'm like, what did I miss?
Purdue put up 46 points in the second half.
That's
40
disgusting.
Points in the second half, 6 points in overtime.
I call that an outlier. They're not going to do that again.
No, exactly.
Never.
It's not going to happen. They had started I think their backup quarterback as well, so not a lot of film on him too. You know, there's a few things, but like, again, rivalry game and all that. Yeah, and shout out to Ryan Walter. Like, I pretty much basically they had to go for two there. They didn't get it, but you're playing with house money there. You got their backs against the wall, and the longer that game goes on, when you're the worst, you know, you're not as good as them. You got to just try to put the nail in the coffin when you can.
That's a fantastic point. I agree.
I'm with Peter on the USC Penn State game. That was crazy. I thought I knew Penn State wasn't out of the game, but I mean, for USC, I couldn't imagine being a fan of it because it would suck. Because USC is a good team. I think they're a good team. I think, yeah, they lost to Michigan, I think if that game was played 9 more times, they win. But like
15.
Okay, but I just I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird watching them. It's really weird because that's a good football team. That's a good football team.
They're not consistent though, right?
They don't know how to win.
That was kind of the part about last week though, because the Minnesota game, that was the only reason that I picked against USC was that Minnesota game. They had 3 turnovers and 8 penalties, and they cleaned it up. So like USC, if they execute and don't make those mistakes, they're fine. They would have won that Minnesota game, and so it's just a matter of can they keep that consistency, I think.
A point I want to make on this contest is Penn State, they have a mentality, apparently with this roster, maybe not years past, but to keep swinging and keep fighting. I mean, down 20-6, not a lot going their way. Let's be honest, and LR kind of looking subpar maybe for times. Excuse me. But my point is they kept fighting and swinging on the road. Now, it wasn't a hostile environment because we know those fair weather fans out in Cali showing up for half a game, taking off, going out to the club. I don't know what they do in Cali. I don't go there. But,
You're right.
But
They're
I know they
going
don't
to
like
straight
football.
poop up off the streets is what they're doing. They all get together after the games and they get their shovels and they
only
scrape
in
up
San
the crap
Francisco.
off the
Come on.
sidewalk.
Whoa.
That's everywhere.
Whoa.
What are you talking about? That is Southern California, dude.
Not seeing no.
SoCal. But go ahead.
I mean, if you look at Penn State, blue-collar football team, they're tough as nails. Always a good defense at times. I mean, so you even get that vibe when you go down and have, working class people going to a game, enjoying beers, and like Pittsburgh, and it's a drinking town with a football problem, with a sports problem. So they're just
Hey, Rob, it's just so crazy because I'm with my girlfriend, my brother-in-law, my sister, my parents, and we're driving through we're driving off the airport. We're in Philadelphia, and my brother-in-law looks around and goes, "It's like a working class city."
I'm telling you, like
it's just like smoke everywhere.
these
Coal miners
they
everywhere.
work their 8 to 5. They work their 8 to 5. Then they
Yeah.
go into the weekend. They cheer on their football teams. That's literally what it is.
Oh man, it is a working state.
For real.
Okay, but is nobody going to talk about like Penn State actually being fairly inconsistent?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
that's what I've talked about. Remember, Penn State fans got all mad at us, and me especially, for critiquing
That's
them.
because you were a jerk.
slightly. Oh yeah, I was a jerk for calling out, for saying Illinois was going to play them close, and they actually did.
Yeah.
And then they did, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You can't say anything mean about Penn State because this is their year. No, it's not. Shut up. You're going to get smacked by Ohio State, despite everything I'm going to say later in the show.
yes.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What's that?
They are too inconsistent for sure.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're a good football team. I think that they deserve their ranking for now anyway, but like 21-7 against Illinois, 27-11 against UCLA at home. Are you kidding me? 33-30 after they were down 20-6 at halftime against USC. That's wild. I mean, they're a good football team, but when they feel like it. I mean, and it's even that defense, like the defense, they're all, excited about that defense. It's a very good defense, and yet Bowling Green was shredding them at one point. They are extremely inconsistent, and they've got Wisconsin next week. They'll beat them. They won't beat Ohio State. They'll beat Washington, and then they've got a cakewalk with Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland.
Yeah.
So,
hey man,
I don't know what to think about the rest of their season. I feel like what'll happen is that they'll be good enough to get to the Big Ten championship game where they will get smacked by Ohio State. They'll make it to the playoffs then and then lose in the first round.
Not again. Wait, whoa. 10 championship game to get smacked by Ohio State. Not Ohio State part 2.
He probably has Michigan beating Oregon.
Mac, don't fool yourself. Mac, don't do that to yourself.
Don't do
Don't
it.
do it, buddy.
I didn't say that. I didn't say anything about Michigan.
We already know I don't know how he has Ohio State there when he's got him losing to Indiana.
Right.
Well, right.
I'm separating realities here, okay, guys? Like, we can talk about different scenarios. You know what?
You're doing the Star Trek alternate reality there.
Yeah, we're going Star Trek alternate reality, Marvel alternate universe type of thing. There's a universe out there where Indiana this year beats Ohio State, and no one will convince me otherwise. Why am I pointing this around? No one will convince me otherwise that is a thing. But I think that conventional logic says that Penn State is going to have Ohio State at home and they're going to get smacked.
And
Penn State's going to get smacked by Ohio State.
And Purdue's going to beat Oregon.
And Purdue's going to beat Oregon this week because that's what they do.
On Friday night, Friday Night Lights in Lafayette. It's going to be insane.
Right. They are the spoiler makers for a reason.
No, that
they spoiled.
That was with Braun. There's no more spoiler maker.
That was with every coach, bro, this century. Every coach.
Wait.
Not Ryan Walters, though.
Wait, Cliff, where are we supposed to be now?
I was just going to mention Wisconsin. Max mentioned Penn State beating Wisconsin, but Wisconsin just put up 42 on Rutgers. Is it possible Wisconsin could beat Penn State?
No, they've just started investing in the run more, but like that's a team that still really can't throw the ball all that well. I mean, they are what they are, but they lack weapons on the outside, and they lack a quarterback that can, I think, consistently get the job done. So if that run game's not working, and you got to think too, a lot of people expected them to come out with the offense they had the first 4 weeks, and now they're running the ball, so it's a little bit different to prepare for. But I think this is just kind of a lightning in the bottle thing. I think Wisconsin should, of course, keep riding this style of offense, but I just think they've got rattled off a couple of good big performances, but I think it'll slowly just kind of get back to everything will equal back out, just with Wisconsin's lack of talent.
Yeah, right.
I'm with you.
Can I address a fan's comment real quick? Because it's killing me, man. It's killing me.
Sure, which one?
My favorite viewer, George Warner. My favorite viewer, McCord is better than Howard. McCord would have folded it by halftime, threw 5 picks, and ran to his mom and cried in her lap. I mean, come on, dude.
I disagree with that.
Howard balled out.
Completely false, but okay.
Bro, but think about it. There's plays in that game. People forget. Like there was a couple plays where Will Howard should have been sacked, and they would have been sacked if it was Kyle McCord, but it wasn't because it was him. And again, we're still perfect in the red zone. That wouldn't be a thing with Kyle McCord.
All right,
transitive property does not work in football.
As our last
property does.
As our last crazy game of the weekend, I know obviously Oregon won, and I know you guys have talked about this. Our bottom line OSU guys there. I know you've all talked about this on your channels.
Bottom line, that's crazy.
I saw some crazy stuff in that game. I saw the quarterback just throw the ball up for grabs on the Oregon side, and I saw Will Howard take a slide because he wasn't watching the clock. What happened in that game?
Will Howard proved that he's really good at baseball.
Sir, you are not on the bottom line.
Oh, my bad. I forgot I'm better than you.
Typical Michigan man on the moral high.
Here, well, I'll start. I'll make it.
Yeah,
quick.
He'll start because he wanted to go first the whole time.
I did. I think first off, I think Will Howard played a great game. I think that he showed that we could trust him in a game where our running game stalled in the second half. I think a lot because we didn't get the ball to Trey, and Simmons was being out, and their backup defensive end Tui was good enough to still beat Fryer. And then when you had Uyunglele over our backup, that's when you figure out their depth at DM was better than our depth at tackle. I think that played a large part in that. I mean, people want to talk about Ohio State secondary. In all reality, we're talking about 1 out of 5 guys. If you take away what happened on Burke, our secondary gave up 162 yards. Burke gave up 179 by himself.
What?
Yes.
Jeez.
Our secondary didn't play bad. Burke played bad. Now I think our D line could have played better. I thought the linebackers did okay. I thought honestly that was a great classic game. It had drama, it had controversy, starting with the first drive of the game where we threw an interception.
Yep.
And they didn't call it. You had things that you didn't expect, like Judkins getting stripped the ball away from in our own territory. We need to stop doing that, by the way, getting the ball away in our own territory. I don't think our defense played bad. We had Oregon in 2nd and 8 and 3rd and 7 all game. And then next thing you know, there goes 25 yards, there goes 50 yards, there goes 60 yards. So I think those are all things that we can clean up. What you can't clean up is losing Simmons. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. I'm gonna start the Montgomery train. Please play him. But just don't put. I don't want Fryer at left tackle. I don't want to see what that looks like. And no, Oregon's really good. I think we clearly know who the best 3 teams of the nation are. I'm not with these Ohio State fans crashing out over this. Like, we gave up 31 points to Mississippi State, unlike other colleges, and Vanderbilt dropped 40 on our heads and lose to them like other colleges. And the worst part about it all is that in a couple of weeks I'm gonna have to come on here and see Justin, because I would hate to be them right now. I would hate to be them. Nebraska. I would hate to be them right now.
Listen, all right. I'll see you in a couple.
And that's not a dig at you, buddy. I like you, and I don't want you guys in this position. I caught strays. I really don't want you guys.
Friendly fire there, Garrison. What are you doing?
I got love for Justin. They better put these 2 weeks to work. I know that much. So
you're lucky this ain't on Twitter. I come after you.
Yeah, you're lucky this ain't on Twitter, so I would get banned for 24 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He said Nebraska was going to beat Ohio State. Ban him.
And to be fair, I've said all season that Nebraska is probably going to lose, but by probably a couple touchdowns, if not more. But now I feel like I got to stand up for my boys.
No, and Nebraska owes me money for some of these bets I've lost because of them. So.
Well, that sounds like that's a skill issue on your part.
Boar's just throwing some trash you guys' way.
I'm not going to take the bait anymore. I'm done. I'm done taking the bait.
Don't take the
bait.
I'll take the bait. Boys want to get it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Pete and Rob, what did you guys see in that game?
So what I saw was, first off, a lot of penalties. Ohio State tripled Oregon in penalties. It was really loud. A lot of false starts. You had the questionable offensive pass interference at the end. Just a lot of miscues. Just like Garrison was saying, luckily they didn't catch that the ball was intercepted. But there were some missed calls in the game in general. Judkins got stripped. A big part after that. After Simmons went down, they went away from the run and relied on the pass. Will Howard balled out, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rush, and I think he was 27 for 35. I mean, I don't think you could ask for a better game. I don't know what Burke was doing. He was on his own little island. Apparently, he left his mind back in Columbus. I don't know, but I mean, one of my the school I work at, there's a couple of Ohio State fans. We were talking about, he was caught looking in the backfield a couple times. If you go back and watch the tape, he was looking in the backfield and he got caught doing it and he got burned. I mean, he's one of the best cover corners in college football, but I don't even know what happened Saturday. I really hope it's an anomaly. It doesn't happen again. But other than that, and also, again, hats off to Will Howard, but as the quarterback, at all times you have to know the game clock and the play clock. That is your responsibility. But Ryan Day as well. He had a timeout. They were left. I don't know why. One was timeouts. It seemed like at the end he was trying to make amends for what happened during the Georgia game. CJ Stroud took off, got down in the 30, and then Ryan Day got all conservative and left it up to his field goal kicker. I think it was like 50, 55 yards. So it felt like he was trying. It bit him. So, he's got to figure it out. That look on his face that I was talking about earlier. That look on his face I was talking about earlier. That is the look of a man who's not confident. He's scared in the moment. And Peter and I were talking about it. So this 2 weeks they need. And one more thing, Knowles really needs to get enough of this. It's not working. You can't against these elite quarterbacks. Dylan Runner balled out. Hats off to him. 304 touchdowns. I think he was 34. Clearly, again, the Heisman. Need to get more pressure on the quarterback, but again, 2 weeks. Do some soul searching. Have a 2-week tryout next left tackle, or it could be a long season in terms of the run game. But then I'll move with the next person. I predicted that in terms of top team to beat Ohio State in the Big Ten. That was Oregon, and I felt like this is a team who needs a loss early on in the season, a heartbreaking loss, which happened in order to obtain glory down the road. I think that's what needs. So I'm calling my shot right now. Ohio State will run the table. They will get their revenge in Indy. They'll beat Oregon in the Big Ten championship. They will make a run in the playoffs, and they will win the national championship. I rest my case.
Wow.
There's a team in Bloomington that has something to say about that.
Oh, there's a team in Lincoln too, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Not in Ann Arbor. But not in Ann Arbor.
All right, before I go to Peter, I want to say that I saw this on Twitter today. It's somebody reposted a TikTok. I wonder how you guys feel about this. They're saying that or suggesting that Dan Lanning. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's Dan Lanning is at Oregon, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Dan Lanning somehow coordinated that last drive by putting in his 12th man to get that penalty, run 4 seconds off the clock to only give Ohio State 6 seconds to run their last play.
No, people. There's no way that was going through his mind to set all of that up.
I'm sorry, but I don't think there's one head coach in college. I don't think Nick Saban knows that rule.
No, that was what I was going to bring up too, because if that doesn't happen, then they run that up the middle. They got time and they can kick a field goal, win the game. They put themselves in a position to win. It's just that really, really was the difference.
Yeah, you're never giving up 5 yards for free. Yeah. No coaches do it.
Nope. especially when they need a field goal to beat you. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
I mean, but if it ran 6 seconds off the clock, leaving them 4 seconds to get the field goal unit on, and Ohio State didn't have any timeouts.
They had one timeout, buddy.
Not at that point.
No,
they finished the game with a timeout in their pocket.
They did?
Yep.
Yes.
We were watching that.
There's one left, yeah.
I mean, that's why I was even more mad at why Ryan Day didn't have himself or someone. He should have been near their official the whole last play.
Yep.
That's why we're saying if he gets down a second earlier, then they can kick a field goal because they had a timeout in their pocket.
And Pete, you might know this, so before you start talking, I want to ask you this. Are players allowed to call timeout in the field?
The quarterback can.
Yeah, I'm asking, can anyone else?
I think it's probably better. I think there's just a common practice of the coach doing it because they are right there by the official to get their attention.
Okay, because you can, because there was a screenshot.
Sonny Styles?
No, because you can see Will Howard's down. There's a second left, and you can see Brandon Ennis putting his timeout hand up.
It's when the official acknowledges it. That's the issue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about it.
That's sad. That's too bad. Pete.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Okay. Well,
and I think that's why they typically have the coach or quarterback do it because they're the eyes are already on them, so the ref's going to acknowledge them quicker than anybody else.
Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, shout out to Rob for stealing all my talking points. I just played, dude. But no, in all seriousness, I think Denzel Burke re-downloaded Tinder and spent a night out on the town in Eugene on Friday night or something. Because my gosh, I've never seen him look that bad.
Somebody spiked his drink for sure.
This man. I won't say what I just came to my head, but anyway, Denzel Burke. This is my theory, and I'm going to steal someone's talking point because I thought it was amazing. And I said, I'm going to sound smart tonight. Thank you, Mr. Radio Man. And he said on WTKA, because I do live in the belly of the beast, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And
what?
Yeah, Ann Arbor, born and raised. Father is an Ohioan.
I gotta say hi to you next time I'm out there.
Yeah, father is an Ohioan, and first game was the Ohio State game. So nice. I'm very grateful for my dad raising me right. But no. So anyway,
shots.
I could have turned dark, man. I could have been bad, dude. I could have been depressed nonstop. Anyway, let's get to that. Let's get to the action. And this is what he said. I'm gonna have to look him up, but anyway, he's a Monday morning quarterback guest. Sam Webb was talking to him. I turned up the radio in anticipation.
You're talking about
Devin Gardner.
Devin Gardner.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Devin. I would have known that name. It was the 9 o'clock slot, and I heard him talking. I don't know who it was. I'll find out, but excuse me. He said Denzel Burke was preparing for the Oregon offense that we've seen the first 5 weeks of the season. And what I mean by that, and what he means by that, is that Oregon did not take deep shots in the first 5 games of the season. They did not.
Good point.
And I said, dang. So Denzel's eyes, somebody said it is either Garrison or Rob, were in the backfield for a reason, because of the film he watched. 5 games of evidence. And that's all we had, because Bo Nix is not Dylan Gabriel.
But dang it, man. But by the third quarter, you couldn't figure it out?
Now, that's fair. That's a great counterpoint to the argument. If your man keeps going behind, you don't put a single hand on the brother. Daggone it, man. Take him off the field. But, no, Denzel's my dude. I won't be buying his jersey anymore, like I maybe was planning on doing, but respect. Hopefully he rebounds, because my gosh. Second point, Will Howard. Rob said it. I'll say it. Will Howard, he freaking won me over. Okay, I'll say that. I was not, past tense, a believer in Will Howard. Be honest, I wanted Dylan Gabriel, and I said that multiple times on the channel over the season, or Cam Ward. He was number 2. Will Howard was probably number 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 option for me, but he won me over. The dude freaking balled. He won my respect. And what he said post-game really made an impact on me. He said something to the effect of, this is going to light a fire under our team. And you will see better from here, going forward.
His Tim Tebow moment? Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Said, yo, check the 11 Warriors Instagram account. They quoted it. That's where I got it.
I will. Oh, man. If he had a Tim Tebow
that fired me up, bro. I said, lead this team, Will.
Did he say God bless at the end?
He probably did.
All right, cool. We'll go with it. But I will say this to you guys, like, cause you three probably don't know up top, but like, what really upset me about that game, specifically with Denzel Burke, is that, and I'm one of them. There are a lot of fans that believe the best corner on our team isn't even starting, and so with that being Jermaine Matthews, it was really aggravating, because my whole thing was I didn't want to see Denzel get benched for the season. That's not what I want to see, or lose his starting spot.
No, bro.
But at some point, Jermaine Matthews has to be on the field more often. And it's not for just Burke. I mean, it's for anybody. Anybody at that corner position, especially where Hancock is, not because Hancock plays bad, That's where he would naturally be better. Jermaine Matthews needs to be on the football field because he is the best corner on Ohio State's roster, in my belief.
Okay, that's fair. Wow. Good point.
You throw him in the game in that situation though. Like I feel like you go with your dudes. And
you know how some guys are just different. Some guys just have a dog in the man. I'll
take your word for it.
Like the same way, like I got to see Jeremiah's 2 one-handed catches against Michigan State live. And now it's not the biggest opponent, but he was a true freshman last year. And I went and saw them when they played. Was it Arkansas State? Did they play last year? Who was it? They played somebody. Somebody now we're talking about. And he goes and gets a pick six in his first game ever that he plays, and I'm like, oh no, he's it. Like some guys just look different, bro. Some guys just look different.
But that was even though it was against a bad team, like because I feel like in a way too, if Ryan Day brings him in and he gets cooked, like then there would be questions about that, as well. Was that the right decision, or do you ride it out with your guys and hope maybe he figures it out as the game along and just
Denzel gave up 179 yards. I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if like he left him in there hoping like, okay, he's gonna figure this out. I don't know. But like I trust your word for it on him being better.
Jermaine Matthews did tweet this later. It was a bunch of angry faces at 11:56 p.m.
He should have been in the game.
So he's probably saying he should have. Yeah, he's probably saying he should have been in the game.
But that's kind of crappy of him too. Like, maybe he's tweeting that because he didn't want to lose to Oregon or whatever. I mean, obviously he didn't want to lose, but maybe that's the reason. But maybe if he's tweeting that because he's upset that he wasn't put in the game, like that's not exactly a good character moment either.
This is D1 college football.
It's a dog though. I feel like a guy who wants to be out there in those moments, like that's a guy that's going to go out there and perform. Like he's confident in himself that much to, want to be put on that stage. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I kind of like it.
Shout out to Jaden Davis for refusing to play this season for whatever God known reason.
Can I touch on the game real quick?
Yeah, go for it. Why don't you hit on it, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
Just in case anybody wanted to branch off this, but like one of the things that I feel like, outside of the ending, of course, that's the obvious thing. But here's why I take away what happened.
Right. Doreen's comment.
I didn't even see that. The reason why I don't feel like still Ohio State is the worst of the two is because they lost the battle of third down. They had a turnover. Oregon, of course, you already brought up the penalties. Everything else in the box score kind of checked out. If they correct maybe one of those third downs, because Oregon 6 for 14, Ohio State only converted 4 of 12. On top of the interception,
1 of 7 at one point, by the way.
On top of being, that's wild. On top of being in Autzen Stadium, right, in that raucous atmosphere, I think Ohio State's still the better of the two teams. Of course, they folded down the stretch and didn't make the plays down the stretch, but I don't know. I just don't see Ohio State like this. Doesn't lessen my opinion of Ohio State at all. It actually, I feel like Oregon exceeded my expectations more so than Ohio State not living up to them. Now, of course, there's opportunities on the Ohio State side of the ball, but we're talking about Oregon's offense, and it had its best game of the season by far in terms of just execution and the way they played as a unit. It's just one of those games I feel like they were clicking on all cylinders, and Ohio State made a couple of mistakes, and then a game that close, those little mistakes add up. Like I said, you get one more of those third downs, maybe you get 3 points on that drive. It's little things that I just feel like it comes down to the details in a game of this, magnitude, these two closely contested teams. And again, on the road, that's another thing too. Teams get a 2 to 3 point swing in the betting odds being at home. It's a wild place to play. So, overall, I think Ohio State gets better. There's a lot of good film that comes out of this. And I think the real test of Ohio State is how they respond.
Yeah, I think Josh Pate said that Outson is the loudest stadium in the country.
I don't necessarily agree. I think it's a recency bias thing, honestly. Like, I feel like recency bias is a hell of a thing. It's unconscious bias. He was just there. Yeah. You know, I just think that's a lot of recency bias.
Sure.
One last comment from me on this contest real quick. Ryan Day, so I said this last night in Rob and I's big breakdown of the game. I did an instant reaction and a big breakdown, but what I said is this: Ryan Day, to me, Garrison pushed back because Rob definitely pushed back last night. He did not like what I said, but this is my takeaway. I saw the same look on Ryan Day's face that I saw versus Georgia in 2022 and Michigan in 2023. Now, what I mean when I say that is he's not built for the big moments. He's not. And I don't think he knows how to be built for the big moments. That said, I still trust him moving forward. That sounds like an oxymoron. I know, I get it. But here's the deal. Urban Meyer and Ryan Day are both uber emotional, okay? Ryan Day is uber emotional. He cannot change that about himself. He can't. That's who he is, who God made him to be. Urban is the same way, but he's got a freaking vicious pit bull in him or something. I don't know what he's got, but he's got a spirit in him.
He's a POS. He's a POS.
He doesn't back down. He don't back down. Now, I did see the same look on his face many times throughout his tenure in Columbus, Purdue, Iowa, other games.
Michigan State with the pizza slice.
Michigan State with the cold pizza in them. Yeah, that hurt. God, thanks for bringing that back. So I need to hear from Garrison on this one because my trust is wavering. I'll say that. My trust for the first time.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out, brother. I'm gonna help you out.
I wonder if Ryan Day is looking for loopholes right now.
Screw loopholes. All right, so I know like a lot of people have brought up that record against the top 5. Wouldn't you know, people, his record against the top 10 is 8-8. I don't know if he's not built for the big moment. I mean, if you look back at the Georgia game, I remember going into that game. I say, just don't embarrass me as a fan on national television. I didn't expect us to be like I didn't know we were going to be in the position we were in that game. The Michigan games, those are all. I put those in a separate category.
Agreed.
The Clemson game, the first one that he lost. I don't know if I really even put that. I mean, I don't think we lost because of him in that. I don't know. I think he is built for the moment. I think that this one. What I'm not gonna do is take away what Oregon did. I know I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I don't want anything I say that's come off that way. I'm just like Justin, where I believe that I do think we were a better football team than them. I really do. But I gave Ryan 2 years ago. I gave Ryan Day a 4-year window. He's in year 3. So
can I get my take on that conversation too? Like I brought this up before, but in these big games, think about it for a second. You got receivers being, against Georgia, Marvin Harrison going out, right? And you're already missing who was it? Was it Jason back then? Or so you're already missing Jason. Mm-hmm. I believe against Michigan they were also, but like in the Georgia game, he put them in a position to win the game. Mm-hmm. Field goal kicker didn't execute. In this situation, they were in a position to win the game, and the quarterback takes a little bit too much time. So it's like I feel like he's putting them in a position, but sometimes just the players don't execute or they're not thinking, in this instance, but like he's getting them there. And it's hard for me to fault him getting them in the position to win these games, even with, that Georgia game. Garrison's talking about how he thought there was a potential they could get embarrassed. you're probably thinking if Marvin Harrison goes out in that game, late, you're screwed. Like, especially. And that's the thing.
Walked if he's not. If I heard that Marvin Harrison got injured against Georgia, I would have told you that we got dog walked.
They still had a chance to win it at the end, So there's like nuance to this as well, I believe. But just general big picture, everybody's like he loses big game.
I'm over here getting sad thinking about this crap.
Me too. Justin just made me sad.
Oh, I
Listen,
will.
If there's, go ahead.
Oh no, you can finish. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're fine. Only thing I was gonna add to that is like I don't want to hear it. I'm a Nebraska fan, so you want to talk about heartbreak and being in a position to win games and blowing it.
Yeah.
I feel better now.
You guys have the greatest 3-9 team ever,
bro. Honestly,
I can't relate. We just won a national championship, so
it's I don't know how you lose 9 games and your point differential is still positive.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Well, okay, Max,
those 3 wins were really good.
Did you have anything you wanted to throw on that one, or
no? He didn't have anything.
Otherwise, you're gonna move on.
Wait, I got some water.
I will say this about Ryan Day. He's still a young coach. He's all the games he's supposed to. He's just trying to get over the hump in the big game. He's gotten the right staff together. He's made the right move, really using NIL to the biggest advantage possible. Also starting to use the transfer portal possible. It was a step in the right direction in terms of I'm going to go back to making the gutsy calls, because if you look back at the 2023 Michigan game, he after that pass Harrison Jr. Before halftime to his shell, there's 40 seconds, just ran the clock out and went for the field goal. Got Sharon Moore, his coaching in the big game for the first time. It keeps going for it on 4th down. So what I saw in the Oregon, Ryan Day being really gutsy, coming out of his shell a bit and going for it in 4th and short about times. And at one point they were on their own a year ago or so. He wouldn't have done that. It's just going to need a little bit more time, but I still trust Ryan Day. If you can show me a coach who's out there that's better, they'll lead Ohio in a better direction, then sure, get rid of Ryan Day. But until then, that would be idiotic.
Yep, there isn't one.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that leads into the next topic then. Mac wanted to ask this question. If you could move a coach around, and I was thinking we're going to stay within the Big Ten, I think. If you could move the coaches around, and maybe we'll even refine this to, you think, Mac, like first-year coaches, or were you thinking the whole Big Ten?
No, just do a whole Big Ten. Let's play with it, see what happens.
If you could move coaches around, which coaches do you think would be a better fit for any given team?
And we all know Ryan Walters would be the best at Nebraska. So
no, Ryan Walters would be the best at the unemployment line, is what I'm
all right, Ryan Walters is gone.
Only 17 coaches.
Yeah, I would like to see how John L. Smith would do at Michigan instead of being at Michigan State.
I like it.
I'm not mad at that, actually. That's an interesting. I mean, I still believe in Sharon Moore for sure. Like, this is his first year, so I'm not throwing in the towel yet. But I mean, if we had absolutely nobody, like if Ryan Walters was our coach right now, I'd be like, heck yeah, get us Jonathan Smith. That'd be great. I'm not mad at that at all.
Brett Bielema needs to go back to Wisconsin because Barry Alvarez is gone, and his bitter wife can move on and not take shots at Barry Alvarez on Twitter anymore. So wow. Brett would be fantastic.
Yeah,
in Wisconsin again.
Would he?
I think
Garrison,
so.
what were you saying?
Huh? Who?
Garrison, who were you saying? Oh, Signetti.
Oh, I said Michigan for him.
Yeah.
But okay. that was just me being. No, I was just joking, just to get at you guys because of my question.
I actually kind of half agree with that.
Give him Ryan Walters.
Like,
wait, are we?
Hey, wait a
Are
minute.
we only switching
Deshaun
head
Foster.
coaches?
Say that again.
Are we only switching head coaches or any type of coach?
I mean, if you
Go
got
for
other
it.
ones, I was just
Whatever.
thinking head coaches. But if you got somebody else you're interested, go ahead.
Okay, now before I say this, I want you guys to know that I'm completely behind Jim Knowles. Okay, I love Jim Knowles.
Okay. Says someone who's not actually
yeah.
behind Jim Knowles.
No, I'm fully behind him.
Sure.
Iowa's DC. What's his name?
Lester?
Oh crap.
Is that Lester?
No, Lester's the OC.
He's the OC.
All right.
Who's
no idea.
I know what's his name.
I'm drawing a blank too.
Yeah, I can't think of it. He's been there a long time though.
Because I've talked way too much about Tim Lester this offseason and this season.
Oh well, I would love to see him at like a
Let's see,
not like a powerhouse like an Ohio State or an Oregon or a Penn
Phil
State.
Parker.
Phil Parker.
Oh yeah,
Phil Parker.
Yep.
Like I guess just in general, I would love to see Phil Parker at like a not Iowa and like at an Ohio State and Oregon. I think that not Oregon, but Iowa has wasted away national championship defenses for the last 4 years. I think if they had a top 30 offense, they would have won the Big Ten at least once.
Shoot, top 60.
Yeah, like it's the defenses they have put out have been ridiculous, and even more so, it's wild that they're running zone out of a 4-3 and they're ruining everybody on defense. This is crazy. So,
You know, sorry, go
I was just gonna say I was on the move this year though. I was trying to figure out why I was not ranked. I feel like that's a travesty.
No, it's not. It's absolutely what? No.
I think it's a travesty that Michigan's ranked over my Navy midship.
Iowa's got two losses.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, but Iowa seems to be playing a lot better than Michigan though. Why is Michigan 24 and Iowa's not ranked?
Why is Nebraska not ranked? We've one loss against a ranked team.
Okay.
Well,
I'll give you that.
Michigan's ranked because they started out ranked high.
Exactly. Preseason polls.
Right.
The polls are where they are now because the pollsters don't want to admit they were wrong when they released the preseason.
We're
polls.
11th in someone's poll and we're unranked. That's how crazy the disparity is in these. And Vanderbilt jumped ahead of us. They're 26. We were 27 and USC was 26. And they just decided to throw Vanderbilt in front of us because they beat Kentucky by a touchdown. Like we've
SEC bias, bro.
We've lost one game to a ranked team
by 3 points. Yeah.
In overtime.
So Mac, what coach would you switch around?
What coaches would I switch around? I don't know. I'm hesitant to switch around anybody at Michigan because I still want to give them all a chance. I mean, our current coordinators are the guys that we won natties with, except for the DC who kept getting fired from NFL jobs. You know what? Actually, that's the one then. Wink Martindale. I would yeet his ass over a cliff. And
hey, why is it always me? Why is it?
I take it back. That was a bit much. I would take his playbook and chuck that over a cliff, and then send him to the unemployment line with Ryan Walters, and then I would beg Phil Parker, or honestly, I would probably take Jim Knowles over him too. To be honest,
nobody's saying Tony White. I'm surprised.
Because I didn't know his name until you just said it. I'll take Tony White. Does he have a pulse? Like Tony White.
Nebraska giving up 0 rushing touchdowns this season. The only team.
There you go. Give me Tony White. I will take any defensive coordinator in the Big Ten for teams that have at least or maybe or less than one loss or one or fewer losses. Wow, that was a travesty of a sentence. I will take the defensive coordinator from any Big Ten team with one or less loss over Wink Martindale right now.
I'm giving you Deshaun Foster. Michigan gets
Deshaun Foster was the running backs coach.
Well, he's the head coach at UCLA now.
Yeah.
But
I don't want him as a head coach. Maybe he could be our running back coach.
Tough question. You asked me what I do.
But I don't agree. So you're wrong.
We were thinking positive changes.
Oh, okay. Let's just Lincoln Riley on Penn State.
Where offense?
Get that offense flowing. And we already got a stout defense.
I would like to see Jeff Fish at Penn State.
Huh?
I would like to see Fish at Penn State.
Or in Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Michigan, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I wouldn't want to see that. No, I'm lying. No, I don't want to see that.
I just think about what Lincoln Riley could do with Drew Aller too, like, and just open up that offense.
Oh gosh,
with that defense.
Let's see.
Oh, bring him to Michigan then. Maybe he could make one of our quarterbacks halfway competent.
You just said that you're fine.
You're correct. I understand what I said, but then I thought of new things. I changed my opinion.
I have faith in these guys.
That's what people do. That's what smart people do. They change their mind.
There you go.
I changed my mind. In reality, I wouldn't take anybody because I still want to give our current guys time, except for maybe Wink Martindale. We'll see. But if I could just randomly pluck exactly what I wanted out of the air, I would bring Lincoln Riley as our OC at Michigan, and then I would grab Phil Parker or Jim Knowles as our DC.
Lincoln Riley would never take that job with no quarterback. You can't develop.
I am aware of that. I'm just saying, if all I had to do was say, hey, buddy, Lincoln, do you think you could take this job and have a guaranteed yes? Then, yeah, that's what I would do.
Dave Portnoy will supply the quarterback. Don't sweat it.
Yeah, he will. That's what I'm talking about. We need more people doing things like that.
I'm waiting for Warren Buffett to unload his pocketbook and just spend $1 billion on a roster for us.
I'm waiting for LeBron to do the same thing.
Yeah.
He gives us cleats.
When are all those custom cleats going to pay off for a national championship?
Exactly. Blue Wolverine, I love this idea, and I'm going to make it happen. I promise.
Wait. We were wearing LeBron cleats when we won in 2014.
Probably. Yeah,
cool.
we were.
Was it the cleats that did it?
It was everything.
Look good, play good, right?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I would take Tom Allen and move him to Ohio State's defensive coordinator. He is a great defensive mind.
I would. Another thing too, I'd be curious to see Schiano at a powerhouse school. I know he's perfect for Rutgers, but I would just love to see, because he's a great coach. I would just love to see what he could do.
I would take Sharon Moore as my O-line coach.
There you go. That's a good point.
Oh, yeah, he's an excellent OC.
He's an excellent O-line coach.
O-line coach. He was a good OC too. Garrison.
Nope, not getting rid of.
Everything's got to be layered.
All I've learned from this year is that Jim was calling plays. That's all I've learned.
I'll take
Jim wasn't calling plays.
I'll take any special teams coordinator in the country on Nebraska though.
Oh,
Ed Foley on it.
That's fun.
Oops.
Or over here just train our coaches away.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Are there any coaches off of Northwestern's coaching staff right now that you'd take?
Their head coaches.
I would think their head coach is a motivational speaker.
David Braun, good head coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
David Braun has had a big change. When he started, I remember he would do those press conferences and he'd be like, "So we're really excited that we won this game. We're gonna take a look at the tape and see where we can move from that because it was a very exciting win. Very proud of these guys." I'm like, get this man a cup of coffee. What is going on? All right, you guys ready to talk some Week 8 football?
Let's do it.
All right. We have. I was going to bring up
the rest of us aren't, but okay.
Where is my camera? Here it is. Okay, here we go.
Whatever.
Let's
do it.
We're working through this here. Week 8 predictions. Okay, so this is the chat. Why is this? I'm sorry. Hold on.
If I knew we were keeping track of these, I probably would have put a lot more.
Would have done a little better.
No. Hey, that's tough, Jeff. That's tough.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So and I'm pretty sure I got these right. There was one I had to go back and review from one of our weeks, but it looks to me, and this is where it gets difficult to judge because it's like college football. Not everybody plays everybody. But right now, Peter and Garrison have both called 31 games, and they're both at 77.42%. Justin has called 26 games, but he's at 84.62%. Mac has called the most games and is at 71.05%.
What?
So Rob, you haven't been here as much, but you're at 85% with your 14 games called.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh wow.
That's not safe for Bryce.
That's crap. Rob is disqualified.
and Bryce really is.
And Bryce is disqualified. Bryce, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he's at 100%. He had to quit while he was ahead, I guess. So.
Do not let him know that, please. for my sake.
I'm going to get a poll committee together, and we're going to try to rank you guys and see which one of you really is in first place. So,
I called the most games, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't always matter, man.
Efficiency matters.
Efficiency, yeah.
Justin's going.
We got to have a threshold. We got to say like you have to have called this many games, and then whatever.
I think my numbers qualifies, right?
It's
26.
It's not far off. It's not.
It's not. Yeah, you're not far off.
Yeah.
And the only reason I've called.
Sorry, Mac.
Why am I the focus? Don't look at me.
I'm sorry. I was trying to move
I couldn't help but look.
Here we go. Let me try this. I was just trying to make this screen bigger, but now all you guys are small.
There
all
it
right,
is.
never mind.
Oh,
We're
that's
just gonna
better.
go back to here.
It was okay.
Oh,
it was
that
fine.
okay? But
Whatever.
That works better. Yeah.
Just for a second. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Wait a minute. Here we
Wait,
go.
what are you doing now? Why'd you mess with it?
We're just having all kinds of fun here.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Is that
all
better?
right.
You guys see that?
That's perfect. Just do
great.
that.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
Wait. Okay. So. 20,
Great minds
27
think
and
alike,
11.
Peter. My goodness.
I need to start betting the money line is what I just learned.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
seriously.
No kidding.
I don't even bet, but maybe I should.
I'm about to go into sports handicapping.
That's all right. We're going to introduce the team rivalry sports book for next season.
Let's do it.
College football fantasy. All right, our first game coming up for this week is Oregon, who has moved up to number 2. They are 6-0 overall, 3-0 in the conference, going up against the recently dubbed powerhouse Purdue for putting up 49 points on Illinois. They are 1-5 and 0-3 in the conference. We call that a losing schedule.
Yep.
Let's. I know how much Justin loves Purdue, so let's start with Justin. What do you got here?
Well, I mean, what's there to talk about? Oregon is
How about that spread?
going
28
to
points.
cover the spread. I have a hard time even talking about this because I don't know. Like everything Oregon does is better than everything Purdue does, and they're just gonna. I feel like maybe they'll start slow just off of the big, game. Kind of maybe they'll come out flat because that's a lot. A lot of. Energy and just like that was a tough game, physical, hard-fought game. So there's a potential they could come out flat, and I think they still cover the 28. So I'll take Oregon. Let me say, I'll say 41-7.
41-7. Excellent. Garrison, what do you think?
All right. Well, before we got on here, and I won't say what I said, but I mean, I told you guys there's one way to beat Ohio State. And I'm looking at it, and it looks like this game is at 8 p.m., and they only got one of those things. So I'll tell you guys the rest later. But, I don't know if there's much to talk about here. That spread's crazy. That spread is that's disrespectful, honestly, to Oregon. Give me.
I was going to say, it seems low.
Yeah, man. What? 7 times 7 equals 49. Give me 49 to 7. I'm just trying to be nice.
Rob, you're up next.
All right, so I actually coming to some stats here. So I prepared some.
Thank you.
So, Oregon proved last weekend that they're one of the best teams in the country. Dylan Gabriel emerged as a Heisman frontrunner with 387 yards, 4 touchdowns. With that being said, Purdue's pass defense is currently ranked 87th in the country, giving up over 230 yards per game. And they have the 101st ranked offense in the country. They're, like I said before, their almost comeback win versus Illinois is a fluke. It's an anomaly. So Oregon currently has the 19th best overall defense. So this is a no-brainer. They're definitely going to cover the spread, but I have Oregon winning 50-7.
Did you say 50 or 58?
50-7.
50. All right.
Yep.
Another factor too is Purdue's penalties are crazy. Like I said, they had 163 penalty yards against Nebraska too, and Oregon looked solid in that regard too. So yeah,
well, you can do that.
Yikes!
What?
Put up 163.
Oh yeah, they had more penalty yards than total yards.
Oh God.
Yo.
Yeah,
that's a yikes.
I think my dog farted. So.
Yeah, there was a game last year like that. I can't remember which one. All right,
Peter, my weird
so
face.
bad.
That's why. Y'all saw my weird face. That's what.
Peter, what do you got?
So I'm trying to pull myself together for this one. I'm gonna pull the Price is Right move and go 48-7, and get the dub in case we're keeping track of point differentials at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Mac, you're going last. Don't you dare go with 47. I will come to Grand Rapids or wherever you live. No, just kidding.
That tells me I shouldn't tell you where I live.
Thanks. Especially if Ohio State wins this year, I'll come put some signs in your yard. No, I'm just kidding. But I just saw this game is going for $16 a ticket. So I might be going to West Lafayette this weekend to check out the number 2 Boilermakers. Wow, that's awesome. And also, I'll be repping Ohio State stuff. No, I'm not going. But Hudson Card's let me down, and Oregon and Dylan Gabriel are proving why I wanted Dylan Gabriel, and they're going to roll easy. And I do mean easy. Now, it is Friday night. It is a Spoilermakers. Not this team. They're not the Spoilermakers.
No. All right, Mac, you going 47?
Do I do it?
Protect yourself.
What am I doing here?
Oh, 51.
I'm trying to think. Do I pick Oregon 47-6?
Right.
Or do I pick Purdue 31-21?
Oh God.
You are a madman.
Yep, I know.
Yeah.
It's the hair.
Oh man.
Well, Mac picked Oregon last week, so.
I mean, here's the thing.
Let's pull up the percentages again.
Okay. All right.
Yes, Cliff. Yes.
You gotta do this to me. Just go ahead and write me out of your will already. Jeez.
What will?
Uh-oh. Do we have some planning we need to do?
You can keep the $5.
Oh my
you guys
gosh.
are awesome.
If Jeff Brom were the coach, I would totally be picking Purdue to win it. Where'd Peter go?
He rage quit.
Oh, okay, cool. Bye, Peter.
We lost Peter.
He just had memories spark up of Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if Jeff Brom were still the coach at Purdue, I would totally be picking Purdue right now. And it is a night game at Purdue too, because so all of that just I don't know. The 49 points against Illinois in the second half.
Brom.
I understand that. I'm trying to finish my point.
A little talk. Jeez.
You know what? Just for that. No, I'm kidding. No, it's going to be Oregon, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the 47-6.
Love it.
just because screw Peter, I guess. I don't know, but if Jeff Brom were the coach, I would totally be picking Purdue right now.
You're really going 47-6?
Sure, why not?
So Peter just texted me saying he thinks his computer just got hacked.
What? Seriously?
Yeah.
Hey, Mac, you gotta relax, bro. He was just joking with you. I hope he figures that out.
It wasn't me. It was Ryan Day.
Hey, what websites he's been going on?
Yeah. Check his search history.
I didn't know viruses were a thing anymore.
He's been going to our website, probably.
That'll do it.
I shouldn't say that. Dad did a good job on that website.
I say we got a good website, teamrivalry.com. Everybody out there, visit teamrivalry.com.
I enjoy it.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
No, like he's Peter's serious. He's like, something happened and someone was typing URLs into my browser. I don't know what happened.
Oh crap.
Oh,
I asked him if he was serious. He said, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wait, I shut that thing. Well,
Yeah, it needs to disconnect his internet.
So that thing in what Lake Erie is over there? I thought over there. Jeez, that's scary.
That's not good. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully he gets that figured out, man. Our next game then is Nebraska. We're going Nebraska to number 16, Indiana. Indiana is finally ranked. Oh, wait, no, were they ranked last week?
Yeah.
They were ranked. Okay. Well, they're up to 16. Oh, that's right. They were 18 last week, I think. Or were they at 22?
I think 22 or 23. But they might have been 18 in the coaches poll or something like that.
Okay. Nebraska is sitting at 5-1, 2-1 in the conference. Indiana is 6-0 and 3-0 for the first time in I don't know how long. Mac, I'm going to go over to Mac. We'll let Justin finish this one out. Mac, what do you got?
Man.
The spread, I'm sorry, the spread on this one is 6. The over-under is 51.5.
51.5.
Yeah, I mean, open is 3.5, or it open is like 3.5. Yeah, so
yeah, this one's at Bloomington too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Noon kick at Bloomington. Oh man, Dylan Raiola's playing really well. He's got 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but Indiana's quarterback Rourke, 14 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Their running back Ellison is 409 yards and 6 touchdowns too. They're giving Indiana a 76.5% chance of winning. I think Indiana's got something going here. I'm going to go ahead. What?
Who cares about the FPI? It's broken.
I wouldn't say that too loud. They're listening.
I don't believe in the FPI. It's broken.
Nice. All right. I didn't see that coming. That's pretty great. Yeah, I think Indiana's going to win this game. I think this is probably this is like Indiana's like kind of giving me team of destiny vibes, which is probably going to end as soon as they hit Ohio State. But they're going to beat Nebraska, and they're going to beat Nebraska rather convincingly. Not so convincingly that we're going to ask questions about Nebraska, but convincingly that we're all going to be like, wow, Nebraska's on the come up, but look at this Indiana team. I think Indiana wins this game 35-21.
You think our defense gives up 35? We've given up 35 like twice in the last like 2 seasons.
Oh, and this will be the third time.
I've never seen Justin this defensive.
Oh my god!
You'll get your turn, Justin. Hold on. So Peter texted me too. He said he's trying to get back on. Let's go to Rob. Rob, what do you got?
Man, I was trying to do some research on this game. Didn't have time to, but I mean, Indiana has been a big surprise team in the Big Ten. Looks like they have like all the momentum. It's going to be at home, but here's the thing: Dylan Raiola is a dog. He is going to have an upset on his mind. You know, Matt Rule is a great coach as well. He knows how to win in these situations. But you know, this is a tough one. I think that, gosh, I don't really. So, Justin, who would you say has the better defense? Because
Nebraska.
Peter's back.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Not even close.
All right.
There he is.
So you know what? I'm gonna pick Nebraska to pull off an upset, and I think the final score is going to be 27-23.
27-23.
I like it. Smart man.
All right. In honor of Rob being back, Rob, I got to show you Mac. Mac actually did go 47-6 Oregon.
That was
so
Peter.
Mac.
Peter.
Mac.
Oh yeah, you said not to do it, and I'm the one with the wild takes on the show, so I kind of had to.
You're the kid
Purdue.
The Cliff said, "Don't do it," and I'm going to do it. I'm doing it, Dad.
There's there's Moose. After Washington beat Michigan, he called me out on a comment I made on the Michigan Voice of College Football. I pretty much said that I didn't expect Michigan to fall this hard so fast, and he's like, "Oh, you've been trolling for a while, you know. You lost we've lost respect." And just like, what do you mean? Like, whatever.
That's what I've noticed on YouTube comments is like, yeah, like if you critique a team then you're like a hater.
Yeah.
But then
troll, man. You're troll.
Yeah, but then like if you talk, differently, then your fan base comes after you. It's
right.
Give and take. Like it's just like you can't win with anybody.
Well, and if you talk positively about your team, you're just a homer.
Yeah, you're a homer, and if you
yeah. It's social media comments are just about worthless.
Even never mind.
Justin, stop.
Garrison, let's go to you. What do you got? Nebraska, Indiana.
Right. This is heartbreaking for me. Because I love him.
You already said it though.
Yeah. I told him last week what I thought. I think this is gonna be a really good game. I think it's actually be one of the better played games in the Big Ten. Like will be one of those games they play in the offseason on Big Ten Classic. Dylan Raiola is the truth. I think you guys know how I feel about Dylan Raiola in Nebraska. And I think they have a great thing going on there. I think that Nebraska next year is going to challenge for the Big Ten title in the next 3 years. I think that they have their coach in place, NIL in place. I've always said I think they have the great infrastructure. Give me Indiana. I like what Cignetti's doing there. The defense has to get better. It has to, but man, I really don't know who's going to win this game. Give me Indiana. They're gonna get forced to kick some field goals. Give me Indiana 26, Nebraska 21. 24. Nebraska 24.
24. All right.
Oh, I didn't like that pick. I didn't like that.
Garrison with a rare good take.
Oh man.
Oh.
I gotta correct somebody here. Michael Larson is saying Illinois beat Michigan 2 years ago. Illinois hasn't beaten Michigan since 2009. And that
you said there was some
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What?
You said there was some oomph there. Like,
yeah,
2009.
I know this for a fact. I'm looking at it right now.
I remember watching that game.
He's living in Mac's alternate universe.
Hey, there is no universe of mine in which Illinois beats Michigan, all right?
Peter, let's go to you. What do you got?
Maybe in my nightmares.
Nebraska, Indiana.
Yeah, I think the FBI is on to me for making a threat against Mac's house or something, and my computer got hacked. I really don't know what's happened. I just saw URLs being entered into my URL. I don't know, but
that's what you
this game is going to be crazy. Big noon kickoff, dude, is going to freaking Bloomington, Indiana, and I love it. I freaking am so stoked for Hoosier Nation. I seriously am. Kurt Cignetti, I am aboard the hype train. I think Bloomington is going to be rowdy. It's he keeps on calling on the student section to come on out, on the fan base to come on out, make it an atmosphere like I've never seen in Memorial Stadium. I think they're going to deliver. At least the students and the fan base. The team,
Students aren't playing the game, man.
Nebraska fans travel well too.
They do.
Man, Justin's holding on by a thread here.
These are the two nicest fan bases in the conference, and there will be no brawls, no one ejected from the stadium. They might rush the field because I do have the Hoosiers winning this football contest. I think, I think I'm going to go with Indiana in a tight one. I think the Hoosiers do not perform up to their lofty standards so far that they performed up to this season. Nebraska is a proud defense, the black shirts. They got a good tradition there, and they're growing back into that moniker. They still need to earn it, in my opinion, but that's why I have them losing. Because Kurt Cignetti, with his 31 transfers, he's going to put up 27 points. The Huskers are going to have 21 at the end of this contest.
Can I say something real quick?
Wait a minute. What was that, Peter?
27-21 Indiana.
27-21, Indiana. All right, so our next game is Michigan, Illinois. No.
Oh, what?
Wait, before you go. Wait, Justin, do not throw your hands. Please do not throw your hands. I just want to point this out real quick. For $103, you can sit in row 2. Row 2, 100 seat up, and it's over the 40-yard line for $103.
Nice. Okay, Justin, go ahead. I saw you move your mic away too while everybody else was talking. Good for you.
No, that was just me throwing a fit after you moved on.
Oh, I see. All right.
All right. So here's my take on this. First off, I'm going to start with Indiana. Okay, Indiana, right? Let's talk about Maryland in 2023. Maryland came out 5-0 in 2023, had one of the top offenses in college football. They got all the hype. They got blown out by Ohio State. And then they finished 2-5, right? I feel like sometimes we get caught up in this good story and we really start to overhype these teams a little bit. Yeah. Now, my thing is, you have Indiana, who was supposed to come into the season and not be good. So they are judged how they do on the season on that standard. And so they get propped up. You know, if they keep winning games, even though they gave up 24 to Northwestern and Maryland went blow for blow with them as well, like, they don't get criticized for that. There's no people nitpicking what they're doing because they're a fun story. They're Indiana, you know, whereas Nebraska, I feel like, has a lot of detractors. And I feel like people focus on, you know, I feel like what they're doing. Yeah, coming in the season, if we would have been 5-1, there would have been nobody kind of saying that it was negative, in my opinion, but there's still people who are finding some negatives. So that being said, move over to Nebraska. So what Indiana does well is they do a good job at attacking the middle of the field, especially off the play action. The key to this game is Nebraska's eye discipline on the defensive side of the ball and just execution on the offensive side of the ball. Now, our defense gives up like 12.4 points per game or something like that, giving up 0 rushing touchdowns. Teams average under 2 yards a carry, got a top 3 run defense in terms of that in total yards, and 0 rushing touchdowns given up with the season. Now, I know, you know, Curtis Rourke is very efficient. He's going to get his, but I feel like for them to have success, they're going to have to try to find some balance. And I just don't know if they're physical enough, because Nebraska's defense is very, very physical. And so you're putting strength versus strength, right? And with Nebraska's defense as physical as it is, I think there's the potential that they can really kind of wear them down and also put some pressure on Rourke. He hasn't had a ton of pressure this season in terms of just people getting to the quarterback, and his toughest game, again, has been Northwestern and Maryland. So how much do we really know? They're going to try to get you down with kind of throwing those dump downs to the middle of the field. They target the middle of the field more than any, and then they'll try to kind of go over your head. It's a very smart system, and Curtis Rourke is the perfect quarterback for it. Just with 14 James Madison transfers and it being the first year of his rebuild, like, how are we going to sit here and say that they have the depth to go with, Nebraska, or be as physical as Nebraska when Nebraska's really implemented this very physical brand of football? And I think Nebraska can wear Indiana down as long as we implement our game plan effectively. But I think in Bloomington, the crowd's going to be juiced up. They're going to be into it. But I say Nebraska's going to win this game. I'm going to say 28-20. Let's go 24.
28-24. That's an interesting point, because, Indiana's toughest game so far is probably what?
Northwestern went blow for blow with them. Blow for blow.
Yeah.
And just wore down at the end.
Yeah.
But what did Purdue do with Purdue?
Oh
my gosh.
Purdue. Yes, they
but
are.
Purdue.
Yes, they are.
But Purdue, Nebraska only beat them 28-10. And then
but we had 200 yards of offense in the first half. So like it wasn't. There was three missed field goals in that first half, and also that phantom pick play that Fedoni. What happened? Ryan Walters called out like is a formation for what usually is a pick play. So he told the official to be aware of it, and Fedoni ran it perfectly. The way you're supposed to run kind of those plays is you're supposed to be there, look like you're in their way, and kind of move your shoulder so that way it's not like a complete pick. Just the way that play design was. So he moved his shoulder. The linebacker was expecting contact, didn't get it, and tripped over his own feet. And that was a touchdown that they called back. So only 28-10, like.
Okay, so 35-10.
What? Like only 28-10. We had over 200 yards in the first quarter. So it wasn't like the offense wasn't going.
Yeah, but they didn't score either.
Yeah, they did. Just got called back to
Well, okay. All right, sure. I'll give you one. They got one touchdown. So that means that this game.
Oh, so 35-10 is not good enough.
I mean, when I'm looking at the score right here and it says that you guys didn't put together anything resembling consistent offense until the fourth quarter.
We had 400 yards.
And?
We had over 400 yards in that game.
But you didn't score.
Yeah, we did. We scored 28.
Not until the second half, though, dude. All right.
That was also because we were just 0 for 6 on third down. We were 1 for 8 on third down in that game. They were 7 for 15, and we won 28-10. That's just 418 total yards.
So what happens against a better defense then? Let's take Illinois. Illinois, you guys lost. Indiana's better.
Indiana?
No, Nebraska. When Nebraska played Illinois, obviously Illinois won, and now you're playing Indiana, who is better. And so you're playing Indiana on the road.
Back to week 2 instead of how the defense has responded since. They've given up more than 10 points one time this season. That was against Illinois in overtime, and Illinois just schemed up and game planned that perfectly. And Nebraska responded off of that game, and the defense has locked up and done, again, 0 rushing touchdowns on the season. They're top 4 in terms of points per game allowed.
Mm-hmm. And you don't think Indiana can do the same thing? You don't think Indiana can scheme up some stuff?
Well, of course they can, but I just don't think that they have the same physicality as Illinois. Illinois was a bad matchup for Nebraska because they are physical and they kind of want to run the same style that Nebraska does to an extent. They just did a better job of executing their game plan and keeping our defense on the heels. And once they got on their heels, it was hard to recover. And I said after that game, it'll be great film. And this will be the test is how they respond. And they come out the next week and they've done nothing but respond. They got better as the game went along against Rutgers defensively, and stop Kyle Monungai like 5 times from the goal line. So
that was awesome.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's all good points. I'm just going to say Indiana is ranked second in the nation in points for.
Yeah, but their hardest game was against Northwestern in Maryland.
Question for Justin,
and they
real
scored
quick.
77 against nobody.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Up a little bit, but Maryland was too. Maryland was a top 10 offense last year, 5-0.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, you're right. You're right.
Can we throw in there too? Nebraska's one loss to Illinois. Illinois is now ranked. Indiana has not played a ranked team or a team that has become ranked. Does that make a difference?
They're playing teams that are in the second half of the back half of the Big Ten Conference.
Yeah, I'll say this.
Yeah,
their defense is more to be desired for or from, but this reminds me of those old Indiana teams where like I would tell people from other conferences, other teams from other conferences, I'm like, you're gonna beat Indiana. They're not gonna stop you, but I promise you, they're gonna put points up on you, and that's just how I see this Indiana team. Like, and maybe I'm not gonna lie to you. That's why I have it as a 2-point win. I'm picking with my heart here, because Nebraska ruined the. I said if Nebraska shows up to Columbus undefeated, I'm going to the game. Well, screw that up. So now I guess I'll put it this way. This is the most I'll say about it. If Indiana wins this game, I think 10-1 is in play for Indiana. I think 10-1's in play.
So they go to Columbus undefeated?
That would be beating.
No, they'll be beating Michigan.
Yeah,
if they win this game,
Yeah, so I think 10-1 or 11-1 in the season is in
play.
I
know what you're saying. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, but I said 10-1. I meant 11-1 is in play for them because I think if they're able to beat Nebraska, that means they can keep up with physicality. Nebraska is not that team is not sweet. Like they can bang with the best of them. So and they have a really good defense. So and they like to run the ball and they run the ball well.
Yeah.
Question for Justin, and this might excuse me, this might change my mind. Depending on how you answer. I've watched Nebraska once this season, and the run game. How are they performing? Like yards per game, rushing. How are they? Are they running the ball well, or is it a Dylan Raiola show?
No, it's a little bit of both. And one of the issues that I have with Nebraska offensively, and I did a video on it today, is Satterfield's play structure. Because on the drives where Nebraska scored against Rutgers, they ran the ball effectively and they passed, forward. Every drive where they tried to do some kind of jet sweep or some kind of lateral anything, the perimeter blocking just wasn't there. And it was constantly getting us behind the sticks. And with Nebraska not establishing a run game against Rutgers, that was one of the big issues, and just the play calling. Like I said, the play calling execution, that was the biggest issue. Is like Nebraska's offense needs to find an identity. When they are running the ball, the offense is effective because everything plays off of that. I think Nebraska can do a better job of kind of utilizing the middle of the field instead of just either being at or behind the line of scrimmage, or, it's just deep hitting routes. I think they need to give more check down options, and maybe just rely a little bit more on their playmakers over the middle of the field. 3rd and 10, you don't always have to throw for the sticks. Sometimes you can take the check down and let your playmakers kind of try to make a play if it's not there. But the one thing I will say is, Raiola isn't putting the ball in harm's way. And I think that's the biggest thing. In our run game, we got a stable of running backs. We have a little bit of everything. And so, but as long as they go to the run game, it'll be there. It's just they haven't gone to the run game enough in a couple of these games to kind of fully establish it. If they come out and establish the run, we'll bring everything off of that. And I think they're just somewhat trying to put a lot on Raiola, but I think the Rutgers game was very good for him because I put a lot of mistakes on film, and also he took a lot of hits. Well, not a ton of hits, but he just got roughed up a little bit, which I think like he needs that. He needs to learn from those moments, because now when he has a clean pocket, or I just think he's going to be that much better for it. He missed, some assignments just because the blocking wasn't as good as it needed to be, because they were pinning the ears back on us and getting after him, because we weren't really challenging them much, in the run game or behind the sticks, just because we didn't go to it enough. So I just have some issues with the play call sequencing, but it's fixable. It's easily fixable. And, a couple of those things last week were just kind of, I think almost we were playing a little bit too conservative and, protecting the lead and just not trying to put the ball in harm's way. So I think that had a lot to do with it as well, but they just need to execute better in terms of overall drive structure.
All right. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Our last game for the evening is Michigan at Illinois.
Who's got it better than us?
Number 24, Michigan at number 22,
Washington.
Illinois.
Iowa.
What? Michigan is 4-2,
Illinois.
2-1 in the conference. Illinois is 5-1, 2-1 in the conference. This is kind of a do or die game for Michigan. They're allegedly going to be trying out some new offense going in there. Jack Tuttle is going to be Jack Tuttle is going to be the QB. So our third QB for the season. I don't know how that's going to be, but apparently the players are pretty excited about it. So here we go. I think I'm going to start this one with Justin, and we'll work our way back around to Michigan, or to Mac. Mac, your name is Michigan now.
Sweet.
I was going to change it a while ago, but I'm going to do it now. Justin, go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I like Illinois in this one because Mac, screw you. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, because I picked Indiana. That's why.
No, but for real though, Illinois to me is just they're just a little bit more well-rounded. Well, a lot more well-rounded. I do think, again, Michigan's defense, I feel like they have a chance just with the talent to play a good game eventually, right? But Illinois does such a good job. Bielema does such a good job of, what he does a lot, he uses the H-back, and he uses that H-back to really kind of confuse and mess your eyes up, and they take advantage of that. Luke Altmaier doesn't have to do too much, but he's a gamer. He makes plays. He does what he has to do to win the game. He's grown on me a lot this season. And Michigan can't throw the ball, and when they have a quarterback that can throw the ball, can they run the ball well? It's one of those things. It's just like, I don't know how good they can pass the ball. I just think there's a ceiling there, and I don't think they can get past that ceiling. And I just think Illinois is a very physical team as well, so I don't think Michigan can out-physical them in every aspect of the game. They may be able to a little bit, but I don't think it's enough to overcome the difference here. And it's in Illinois, so it's at Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and give this to Illinois, and I'm going to say 27-17.
27-17. Garrison, let's go to you next.
I think this is one of those situations where the better team doesn't win. I think Michigan is going to find a way to pull this one out.
Just got to get your shots in there somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, no, I mean,
don't you?
No, I mean, I've looked towards this game for the last few weeks, and there's not a lot of film on Tuttle. One thing I will say is that if Illinois is able to get the Tuttle, I think he will unravel. I do believe that when he had that fumble last week or their last game, I think he had that fumble because he was afraid to get hit in his elbow, and like he held the ball like a loaf of bread. I expect the offensive line to play better. I think you guys pull it out by the hair of your chinny chin chins. And again, it's not. I think it's not because you guys are better than Illinois. I just think you win the game. Give me 20-17.
20-17. Yeah, like I said, Michigan hasn't lost to.
You put
Illinois.
it in Peters. You put it in Peters.
Whoops. Oh no.
And I don't even know if I really believe this. I'm just picking this.
Well, at least Garrison's sticking with his convictions.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe. All right, Rob, go ahead, man.
All right, so was actually able to do some research on this game. Let me first say this. Michigan is the defending national champs. They have a target on their back.
Go blue.
Illinois is more than likely looking for revenge for that 2022 game where they could have won, but obviously
they won. Apparently,
they got cheated.
Yeah.
They got cheated.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that comment. So Michigan QB problems. 3 QBs have thrown a combined 609 yards, average 5.2 per pass.
Yes.
6 TDs and 8 interceptions.
Bo would be proud.
Average targets 5.2 yards. Wow.
Here's the thing. Illinois will make. So here's the thing. Illinois has the 77th ranked rush defense in the country, so Michigan could exploit that. But here's the other thing. Since they can make Michigan one-dimensional, they could be really prepared for the run. Luke Altmaier has he's a 68% passer, 14 DDs and 1 interception, and he has more passing TDs than 3 QBs combined. So, so there's that. But Illinois has a weakness in the offensive line. They've given up 19 sacks through 5 of 6 games, which is the 6th worst among Power 4 teams. Michigan's D-line can take advantage of that. Illinois definitely is not going to rush on that defensive line for Michigan. But here's the thing, and this is where I'm coming. So after all those stats, Michigan's defense, it'll be like all the rest of the games. Michigan's defense will keep them in the game for a while, but if they can't produce any long drives, then they won't be rested. So due to that fact, the lack of offense, and also, Michigan's D line could get after Luke Altmaier, but after a while they're going to get tired. I don't trust Wink Martindale's scheme, and I don't trust Michigan's secondary, so they definitely could exploit that. So I have Illinois winning 24-14.
And one thing to make you feel better, that rush defense, that was Purdue ran for 239, so I'm sure that adds a lot to that. But that game's an outlier. I'm not taking too much from that.
Yeah.
Wait, Rob, you said Michigan 24-14 or
no,
Illinois?
Illinois 24-14.
Like it.
All right, Peter, go ahead.
Excuse me. I think Illinois and Luke Altmaier protect their home turf. Brett Bielema is building something fairly nice there. It's a very hard program to recruit to. Let's be completely honest. Champaign-Urbana, I've never been there, so I can't say if it's a dump but I can't imagine it's nice because it's Southern Illinois. So, okay, jokes aside, Luke Altmaier seriously is a really good quarterback. I'm very impressed with him. I think he shows poise. I think he shows confidence and leadership from your quarterback. I've been very impressed throughout the season with him. Do I want to say some mean things about Michigan's quarterbacks? But it's all been said. So I'll just keep my comments to myself. The quarterback in college, to me, college football is a quarterback-driven sport. Let's just state it like it is. There are teams that win with defense and run game. We used to do that at Ohio State. Jim Tressel, my dude. I love that style of football. I really do. Michigan, for whatever reason, Wink Martindale, is not good enough. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but they're not good enough to win games this year. I had them at 10-2 as a ceiling, but Will Johnson's taking a step back. We discussed it last week. Luke Altmaier is going to pick this defense apart, in my humble opinion. I really do. I think they're going to go north of 250 yards through the air, if not north of 3. I'll just say it. They're going north of 300 yards on the Michigan secondary. Mullins is going to have to – here's the thing. If Michigan wants a chance in this game, Mullins is going to have to carry this team. All right. And that's – I will probably say forward. Like you said, 77th best rush defense. I think Mullins
But they gave up less than 3 yards per carry to Penn State and like 1.1 to Nebraska. So there's some statistical outliers there.
Skewed by the Purdue game, he said?
A lot of it was skewed by the Purdue game. Eastern Illinois had like 20 some odd yards, and then Kansas and Central Michigan ran the ball decently, but they've stiffened up since then. That Purdue game, I just think that's an outlier.
Justin coming with the heat and the stats. I love it. That gives me the confidence right there.
There are a lot of outliers for Justin.
Man, I love it. I'm going to go.
This is the one game I've been saying was an outlier the whole time. Literally.
Purdue,
sorry, go ahead.
Were you talking about the Purdue game? Because I just heard you talking about this. Oh, all right. My bad.
Go ahead.
Still. Never mind.
Still.
Score prediction.
Sorry, Peter, go ahead.
Oh, gosh, man. This is tough, man. But I know whoever loses is going to be ranked. And this is off the cuff, man. This is off the cuff.
Thanks, Moose.
Illinois, if you couldn't tell by my rambling, this is totally off the cuff on this game. But I am going – I want to do it. I'm going to do it.
Do it.
I'm going to do it.
It's a 1-point spread.
Illinois wins Illinois wins this game in a low-scoring game. Illinois wins it.
Wow.
23-17.
Mac, remember who your friends are, Mac. Remember who your friends are.
I thought you said 23. I thought you said they were going to win 23-23, and then I just realized you were just reiterating that. I was confused for a second. So 23-17.
No, Mac,
they win it 23-23.
I know. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I don't know why I did. I really am.
Reverse psychology.
All right, Mac. That's the over-under 43.5, 1 point spread. Michigan's ranked 24. Illinois is number 22. Bring it home.
All right, here's the thing. Yeah, I get it. Luke Altmaier is going to pick apart Michigan's secondary. I mean, yes, that's going to happen. Luke Altmaier is going to put up somewhere around 250 yards passing. That's probably going to happen too. Their leading rusher is out for a couple of games now because of a hyperextended leg, apparently. So they're not going to be able to run as well as they used to be able to, although I think they were a pass-first team anyway.
Yeah, they don't rely on the run game anyway.
They don't rely on their – okay, so they're one-dimensional. So here's what I want to see.
They just don't rely on it. Sorry, go ahead.
Shut up.
You had your turn, Justin.
Anyway.
Sorry.
I mean, their running backs combined only rushed for 607 yards and 6-7 touchdowns. So
exactly, they're one-dimensional.
They scheme it up well, and they keep.
Okay. Yep.
Watch my phone breakdown, Mac.
I'll have to actually. Yeah, is that just on your channel, your Voice of College Football channel?
As a live, I did. I'll send it over to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Okay, so either way, Luke Altmaier is still going to pick apart the secondary. So what I need to see from Wink Martindale, I gave him a lot of crap earlier, but what I want to see is him dropping back into coverage. He needs to play some zone coverage. He needs to let the defensive line do defensive line things. That defensive line is very good. And if Illinois is already not going to be rushing very much, then Michigan doesn't need to be blitzing. Michigan doesn't need to be going after Luke Altmaier. Just let the defensive line put pressure on him and then keep everybody back in the secondary and cover their receivers. Like, make sure that everybody's covered. Try and stop them. If Illinois gets inside the 20, continue to not blitz, because then you're going to have to force them to beat you over the top in the end zone into the end zone on a short field. I think Michigan can win that battle if the strategy is right. If Wink Martindale can get his crap together and call a good game and stop blitzing a la Don Brown every single play. If that can happen, then they're seriously limiting what Luke Altmaier can do. Although Luke Altmaier can scramble, that's why I'm saying the defensive line needs to be allowed to do defensive line things. Offensively for Michigan, they've got something going with Jack Tuttle. It's not great, but he can complete passes better than Alex Orji and Davis Warren can.
It's definitely something.
It's definitely something. It's definitely something.
And I don't mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in a good way.
I can go off my own pick, can I?
Anyway. Look, the guy. So the offensive line saying that when Jack Tuttle came into the huddle against Washington, they said that he was calm. His demeanor was very confident and stuff like that. Sharon Moore's got a lot of confidence in him. They've had 2 weeks to prep the guy for Illinois. I feel like he can at least do enough to keep Illinois' defense honest, even if that means targeting. The tight end's name. Colston Loveland. Even if that means targeting Colston Loveland 100 million times, I don't care. Do something to keep Illinois' DBs from stacking the box, and then let the running backs carry the load for the offense. I feel like there is a path to victory for Michigan here, and obviously, being the optimistic Michigan fan that I am going to pick them to win 28-21. But it's a very specific thing that they need to be doing for this game. And if they don't do it, then yes, of course they're going to lose, because the scheming and all that. See you, Rob. Have a good night.
Oh, I didn't see that there. It's like, what happened?
Yeah, I saw his message. And I just figured I'd stop and say bye.
Sorry about that. Take care, Rob. We'll see you next time.
Hey, man.
Anyway, the scheming, I feel Michigan has the talent, the quarterback situation, not quite, but Jack Tuttle might be enough stability to give Michigan what they need to beat Illinois. It's just the scheming. The scheming needs to be better on defense. And if it is, I think Michigan wins. And I'm just going to assume that that's going to be the case. So Michigan 28-21.
I have so many questions, but I picked you guys to win. So I'm just going to keep them to myself.
That's a good choice.
And Caden Fagan and their backup running back, they average over 4 yards a carry. Fagan almost 5, and Caden Fagan's 6'3", 250. Their running back. Jeez. So he's a load to bring down. But the thing is, they're gonna wear you down, and that's their run game usually comes out a little bit later in the contest. The 13 carries against Penn State. They had 12 carries against Nebraska, 10 carries, and then 16 and 16. They'll do a lot of that in the second half. But it's kind of a systematic way that they set up their run game. And that's why they invest in the pass early. But it's also just a part of they again, with that H-back formation, they set everything up so well that kind of works for them. And in that first half, they won't average, that many yards per carry. In the second half, they kind of wear them down. Michigan's defense is going to be much harder to wear down. I will say that, but I just don't know how you guard Pat Bryant and Zachary Franklin on the outside. I just don't. I don't know how you are going to do that.
All right.
Jair Hill, you got to step up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But after Moose said it, now I got to ask the question because this is exactly the question I was going to ask. You said things got better when Tuttle came in the game. Moose just said the same thing. Now tell me what you saw different from him from Warren.
From Warren.
Good passes, some really good passes, and some turnovers. What was the difference between Tuttle and Warren?
I couldn't see it.
The fumble, I don't know. The interception, obviously that sucks. I read an article earlier about it that said the interception really wasn't that big of a deal, or at least it wasn't on Tuttle as much as it was something else. I can't remember what it is. But I think the fact is that he played most of the game without putting Michigan in positions where it was pretty much always do or die. I don't know. I guess for me, he didn't throw a million interceptions like Davis Warren, and then at least he can get the ball downfield without throwing it into the dirt like Alex Orji.
I'd rather you throw an interception than fumble my football.
I would rather you didn't turn the ball over, period.
Yeah, of course. I just don't.
Let me chime in briefly on this one.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I heard Garrison talking about that. So, all right, here's been the case for every game so far this season after the Texas game for the Wolverines. Halftime adjustments have been made, and Michigan can't move the football. All three quarterbacks. We saw it with Warren after he got benched. Or no, he got benched after Texas, didn't he? Yeah. Anyway, halftime adjustments have been made, and Michigan's offense gets shut down. They don't have an answer for it. Kirk Campbell is not a creative mind, a creative enough mind to keep fences out of the box. And I don't think anything changed with Jack Tuttle. The thing that changed and why they went on a 17-0 run in the 2 weeks or week and a half ago is because they finally had to start respecting the pass a little, just because they had no tape on him.
But that's the difference right there.
But then they adjusted because they knew they didn't have to respect his passing game. And what did Michigan score? 0 points in the second half?
I think 3 points.
Yeah.
But I also think
once
that
they knew
at that point Michigan was out of steam.
To Garrison's point and to Justin's point and the whole nation's point, because we can all see it, have a quarterback.
What?
And Jaden Davis Wow. Jaden Davis needs to be starting. I'll say it.
Sitting in the wings
No.
there.
What am I looking at?
Put me in, coach.
Justin got his stuff.
Oh God.
Doesn't fit as well as it used to.
Sorry, guys. I was going to go out and play because Mac picked against us. I was about to line up with him in Shotgun Alley for a second.
Who signed that helmet?
Oh, let's go.
Who signed that helmet?
Sweet. That's a
Tommy
sweet dome.
Frazier.
No way.
Yes, sir.
No way.
Tommy who?
Tommy Frazier did.
Don't you dare.
Sorry. Dang.
That's a sweet lid.
That's pretty cool.
Appreciate it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The chain thing there is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, its batteries are low.
Mac, by the way, with me choosing your team to win, I expect the same courtesy in week 12.
Excuse you?
Wow.
I expect the same courtesy in week 12.
In week 12, how about this? I will maybe consider picking you over Indiana, even though Indiana is the vastly superior team. How's that?
I was like talking to Bryce.
Tom Bouchard, thank you for gifting a membership. CG72 picked it up. Glad to have you on board. Okay, what do you think about what Blue Wolverine then said? I think you guys covered this a little bit, but the rest of the team began playing better initially when Tuttle came in. If there may not be a technical difference between, like, say, Davis Warren and Jack Tuttle, but if Jack Tuttle can inspire the team more, doesn't that help?
But no, there is still a technical difference. I mean, Blue Wolverine said it at one point. There it is. Okay, so they put in Tuttle, which which made Washington respect the pass. However, Michigan didn't change their scheme from orgy, so the opposing D stacked the box again, stopping the play. That's what I mean. I feel like Sharon Moore, and I say this as someone who is a huge fan of him, and I believe that he can be successful. I mean, he's having a lot of success on the recruiting trail. I think that the coaching part of it, or in-season coaching part of it, needs to catch up a little bit. I feel like he's a little bit in over his head right now, and he's kind of learning on the job. And so what happened was they put in Jack Tuttle, who is, maybe the best comparison for him is your Cade McNamara, although Tuttle is a little bit not as. I don't think he's as good as Cade McNamara, or what Cade McNamara was at Michigan anyway. But the scheme, I think, is still the issue. I think that they tried to get Tuttle to run an orgy offense, and really what they need to do is get Tuttle running a Tuttle offense. They need Tuttle running the type of offense that Cade McNamara was running, where they obviously want to use the tight ends. They need to use Marlon Klein more. They need to use Colston Loveland more. They need to use the wide receivers just a tad bit more, and they need to start throwing passes downfield.
34?
That moves.
Right.
I just feel like there are technical, there are scheme things that Michigan can be doing to force Illinois to start reconsidering some things. And I honestly, I don't even think that they need to complete that many downfield passes. I think that they just need to take the shot to show Illinois that they're going to do it. And what happens the one time that they do complete a pass and they get 30 yards, and all of a sudden Illinois is like, holy crap, Jack Tuttle can throw the football. Or at least Michigan's not tucking tail and just running every play, or forcing their receivers and tight ends to catch the ball only 3 or 4 yards down the field in the flat. Like, at that point, Michigan's actually showing some aggression. Are they doing it well? Maybe not. But are they saying that they're willing to do it? Yeah. And that right there might be enough to catch Illinois off balance.
They might not trust his arm.
Yeah, I get everything you're saying.
I know they don't.
I like everything you're saying. Everything you're saying has validity.
Thank you, I appreciate.
But
that.
he still gave the ball away. And I think that's where everyone's butt is about.
Now there's film on him.
And that's the bigger part.
But there's film on him in a
football coach.
Yes, but there's film on him running not his offense.
Yeah.
Still film on him. They can still pick up.
But what's a Jack Tuttle? What's a Jack Tuttle scheme? The guy's been in football for 5 years. He's never had, even when Michael Penix got injured twice,
7.
Yeah,
even
seven.
when Michael Penix got injured, he didn't take the position from him either time.
Let me ask you this, Mac.
Coach. I don't think he's ready to play football. He wants to be a coach, and he said he wants to be a coach.
Mac, I say this with respect. I truthfully want to hear your response, your answer.
All right.
From Jack Tuttle, that gives you confidence moving forward.
A little bit more experience and a little bit more calm under pressure. And again, he's not JJ. I don't even think that he's Cade McNamara. I think Garrison, you said it. He wants to be a coach. So I get it. I'm not saying that Jack Tuttle is the quarterback that's going to come in and all of a sudden Michigan's going to, be competitive with Oregon and Ohio State. I'm saying Jack Tuttle is going to come in and he's going to get Michigan to maybe 8-4. And I think that obviously that would include a win over Illinois. And the way that he does that is by bringing some semblance of stability to the quarterback position. And if the scheming is there, then that I think is the most important part. Jack Tuttle himself, I think he's he's a donut, the donut that you put on whenever you blow a tire. He's the donut. He's going to be the tire that gets you to the repair shop at the end of the season. He's nothing special. You can't really go faster than 65 with him, but he's something that he's going to turn the ball over once every game too. But you can at least count on him for maybe 60% pass completion, maybe 150 yards a game.
10 for 18.
Hey man, Mac, you don't gotta convince me. I picked you guys off of a whim. So
I hear you. I'm
10 for 18
against myself.
He was 10 for 18 against a Washington offense that put up over 500 yards on Rutgers. On
defense?
On a defense that gave up less than 300 yards to Rutgers. So there is a little bit of validity, at least there, to their defense. I don't know why I talked about our offense. There's a little bit of validity there to the defense. My thing is there any indication that they will change the scheme for him? Or is this like you saying they should?
I think they should. I think that they need to, and honestly, this is coming from a place of I don't understand offensive scheming, as well as most people. But to me, the offense that they were running was very much contingent on Jack Tuttle being able to get out of the pocket. And he can in some cases, but what I think they need to do is run an offense that's a little bit more confident in his arm, even if he doesn't quite have the arm. I think they need to be more aggressive, actually.
It's just,
but that's what I mean by scheming.
Even being 10 for 18, though, that's just over 50%. So, and just over 50% only brought in for a partial game. So he didn't have as much time to warm up and get rolling.
We're making a lot of excuses for a bad quarterback.
I get that, but
I never said he was a good quarterback. That's why I called him the donut of quarterbacks. I mean, he wants to be a coach, and that's fine.
But I think you're implying a lot that that hasn't even happened or we haven't seen. And when there's a game this Saturday, we got to go by what we've kind of seen.
And he's Purdue.
Sure.
And he's
let him know, cares. Oh man,
definitely Purdue.
I love that. Who said that?
No.
Was that you, Mac?
That was me, and that wasn't even on purpose.
That was Mac.
But no,
y'all are underestimating Illinois. That's the problem. You're underestimating Illinois by a lot.
Maybe I am. Maybe
I agree.
I don't know why Michigan's going to win the game. I just think they're going to.
Sometimes you got to go with your gut. I get that.
Yeah.
Well, and that's actually what I was.
Here's the second factor why I think Illinois wins. I was so impressed with their run blocking and they were so just disciplined. Everybody knew their role when I watched Nebraska defensive front. They blocked well. They sustained blocks. The wide receivers blocked well. And Luke Altmaier is the better quarterback. So I think the combination of Luke Altmaier is a better quarterback, and I think Illinois will be able to run on Michigan, despite Graham and Grant plays every once in a while. But that's my reasoning. You see the score, they're 23-7. We'll see what Jack Tuttle can do. I think there's a lot of hopium right now, and I say that respectfully again. No shade.
I like that. That's
Respect.
good.
I want to be kept on this channel. But no, I think Jack Tuttle, I do agree with your points, Mac. I think he brings a calmness and a confidence. I just don't think he brings talent. And I don't believe in Kirk Campbell as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And again, here's what I'm seeing too. This is like, I use the word hopium. I don't disagree. I think as Michigan fans, we're in a rough spot compared to where we were last year. But looking at that 2022 Michigan-Illinois game, that was a 2-point game, and that was a Brett Bielema team. So this Illinois team, like you're saying, not this one, no, but still, with Brett Bielema at the head, you're going to have a lot of the same push that you would have had, or
different talent, a lot more talent.
Okay, so it's better
on defense. Well,
they're building something. Watch out, Big Ten.
Pat Bryant. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you,
so that, like you said, don't underestimate him. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And one other thing too, like we're talking about the Purdue Illinois game, like, oh, Purdue put up 48. Well, Illinois dropped 50. Like, it's like we're just kind of ignoring that, you know?
Yeah, but Purdue's defense is crap.
I don't care. Who else has dropped 50 on them?
I mean, okay, then I don't care.
Do you think Michigan could drop 50 on them?
No. On Illinois?
No, on Purdue.
On Purdue.
No shot.
No, probably not.
No shot. So I'm saying, I mean,
that's offense. Max, stop it! You talked me out of my pick. Stop.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to roll. I'm trying to roll with this, man. I put money on it already.
You put money on it?
Yeah, I took Michigan money line.
Moose, I don't disagree with that, by the way. As much as Michigan lost, Michigan still has more talent. I don't disagree with that. I just think Illinois is better with the talent that they have, and they're a better team.
Scheme.
They know who they are, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they do what they do well.
They don't deviate from that at all.
And that's what I've been saying, is that it's Michigan scheming. I think that Michigan needs to be better scheming against this Illinois team, because I mean, yeah, talent-wise, I think Michigan still has the edge, but coaching-wise, right now, Bielema is obviously doing better at Illinois than Moore is at Michigan right now.
Exactly.
And that's why I think that's why I think with this 2-week break that Michigan has had, that Michigan. Oh, see you, Garrison. Wow, I just almost called you Bryce. I'm sorry.
Don't cuss at me.
My bad.
See you guys.
Take care, Garrison.
But anyway, last point, and then we should probably kick it. But what was I just saying? Oh,
scheme.
But that's why I've been saying that the scheme for Michigan needs to be better. And these 2 weeks being off, I feel like they've had some time to actually build a scheme around or practice the scheme around Jack Tuttle, I guess.
1 week of practicing a new scheme and going against
it's not a lot.
A top 25 team on that's tough, man.
Yeah, no, you're right. Everything that you guys have said is totally valid, and that's why I started my pick with, as the optimistic Michigan fan, I'm going to believe that Michigan has the right scheme. But yeah, I mean, if Illinois wins this, what's that?
I defend my guys too. Don't worry.
Sure, yeah. No, but I will say, I mean, if Michigan loses this game, I will not be surprised. But there's a way that I think they can win it, and I'm just going to put my head in the sand and pretend like they're going to do that.
But you are correct. If they can scheme it up, I think that offense can be better. I just don't know how good it can actually be.
Yeah, and I think either way the ceiling's low, but
it's definitely got to be a quote unquote miracle turnaround. Maybe not quite a miracle, but it's got to be a significant and substantially obvious turnaround in this game.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
I did want to point out there was that the 2010 game, that 65-67 game. So another 2-point game that was literally more than 2 points a minute.
2010, that was amazing.
I remember listening to that one on the radio, and it was just, and they got a touchdown, and they got a touchdown, and they got a touchdown, and they got a touchdown.
That's how that Texas A&M LSU game was, that went like 8 overtimes.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being on. I want to close this up and give you guys a chance to give your socials again and let us know where we can all find you. Peter, why don't you go ahead first? Why don't you go ahead first? I just
always
like
appreciate just coming on here and talking ball. I am just a fan in general who knows college football history. I know, names and stats, and I can name off these things. I'm not an X's and O's guys. I never have been. I probably never will be. I did play the sport at a very poor level in high school from the bench. I played the bench poorly.
Respect.
But I love tradition and history, subpar athlete club, rise up. And I do love this sport, and I love listening to Justin and his knowledge and just his I'm gonna tune in the next fans. I suggest you do as well in preparation for hosting Nebraska here in a couple weeks on the 26th. But you can find Rob and I live every Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We always preview the week's games, give predictions, and obviously anything that's interesting. We'll probably still be coping the Oregon loss and trying to get over that on Thursday night. But join us then here on Buckeyes Instagram and Facebook at Buckeyes Battle Cry and TikTok as well, Buckeyes Battle Cry. I will see you guys another time. Hopefully I get my FBI hack. We'll see you.
Yeah, I hope you get that figured out.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Have a good night.
Thanks again, Peter. Thanks for being here. See ya. All right, Justin, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so you can find me over at Nebraska Football at the Voice of College Football. You can also find me over at the Big Ten Show and on X at _H-Town Husker. So a lot of fun stuff going on those channels. So be sure to check it out.
Definitely. Yeah. Thanks again for being here. Really appreciate you being
Appreciate
around.
y'all.
That was awesome.
Thanks.
Have a good night, man.
Later, brother.
See you.
Later.
And there we go. Another fantastic show.
Wonderful show. It's
Love
too bad
guys,
that Garrison and Justin had so many horrible takes.
Every week. I don't know.
Every single week. Peter had some crappy takes too. I tell you. Okay, so nobody watching can see it, but Justin just put in our private chat, "Shut up," in all caps. Oh my gosh, I freaking love doing this. This is amazing.
I bring it back on so we can say it out loud. All right, you're still out there, Justin. Go ahead. Tell him to shut up.
Shut up. Hold on.
Shut up.
All right.
All right.
Go to bed, Justin.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Don't forget to check out the teamrivalry.com website where you can still join the Pigskin Showdown there and give your picks for college football games, the Big Ten games, and get ranked on the leaderboard. You can also check out our show Point a Minute on the Michigan Football Voice of College Football channel and all of the other shows on the Michigan Football channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe here. We have gotten over 1,000. We really appreciate everybody who has subscribed. We appreciate everybody who's been hanging out with us. This is a lot of fun. We're really enjoying this. Looking forward to the rest of the season, watching some great football, and having you guys along with us. And we will be doing the Pigskin Showdown with the Brady Bunch every week throughout the season. Mac, anything you want to add?
No, it was a great show. Had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. All right. I guess that's going to do it for us. Mac, take us out.
This is the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Go Blue.
Go Blue.